Today we're going to talk about a simple woodland shoe for around camp during the summertime here in eastern woodlands, and that's called a Huarache sandal. And this sandal, actually I was introduced to this when I was doing some ultra marathon running. I was reading about different types of shoes, and I saw that some minimalist runners that run barefoot sometimes wear these sandals, and they said they're super easy, super quick to make. So I was thinking about it, and I read a little bit more, and they are used by some wilderness survival experts, and they're a very, very easy thing to make. Now, I will say this, I'm a huge proponent of wearing a heavier, higher boot out in the woods. I think that if you're traversing around specifically the eastern woodlands, you should have that just for foot protection, because your feet are a super valuable resource in any scenario. If it's just long-term wilderness living, bushcraft, survival, you need to worry about your feet. But it's 90 degrees here, and actually it's 95 degrees with about 90% humidity in Pennsylvania today, so it is hot. I'm around camp. I have a campfire going because I'm smoking some hides and I'm breaking some hides. So to give my feet a break from being in heavy boots all day and sweating, I thought, well, I'm gonna give these sandals a try. And I actually made a couple pairs of these in the past, just messing around a little bit, and they came out really well, so I wanted to share it with you. So it's a very minimal design. You can see I've been wearing these a little bit. And this pair specifically is made with some rawhide from some whitetail deer that I harvested this past hunting season, and some brain tan from a hide that I tanned from a deer that I shot also here last season. So everything's from the landscape. Now, you can make these with a really thick leather if you'd want to. You don't have to use brain tan. You can use any type of cordage, but this is very natural. You know, it's something I made out here off the landscape, and it's a shoe I can wear here around camp. Or if I'm in my sleeping bag or my wool blanket and I jump out at night and I want to throw something quick on to go out and go to the bathroom, if I don't want to be barefoot or put my heavy boot back on, I can slide these on there very easy. So to make these, I'm going to show you how to properly lace them, but all you need to do is, in our sense, take a piece of rawhide, lay your foot down on it, and trace your foot out. That's it. Cut it out, and then put your foot back on the trace, cut out piece of rawhide, mark between your big toe and your first toe, just like a flip-flop, and then you want to mark at the center of the inside arch of your foot, and then directly across from that, so this is about the center of the outside arch of your foot. So we have 2 holes here, 1 hole here, and that's it. So let me show you now how we lace these up appropriately. So a nice shot of my dirty feet to start out. But no, seriously guys, so you want to take your sole that you cut out, and all that I did was I took my piece of brain tan, tied a knot on the backside. You can see I've been wearing these a little bit. Tie a knot and run it through, so that knot's your stop knot here in the front. And then you want to just take your foot, place it on there, and you're going to run your piece of leather across to the inside of your foot. That's the first one. So you want to go in the top of this hole that's going to be on the inside of your foot. Put your foot in there, pull it, make sure it feels good. You don't need this overly tight, but you don't want it super loose either. So you just want to get it that it's comfortable. Once you have that set, take the end of your buckskin, go in the front and around. Okay, so you're creating this crisscross. At that point, you're going to go behind your foot. And then we're going to go in this hole that's on the outside. Okay, so again, we're going to go in from the top side of this. If we can get it through there without the dirt. Let's see if we can just punch that through a little bit. A little bit of mud in there. Got to get a stick to punch that through. Okay, again, grab that, tug it through there. Now I want to pull that against the back of my foot so it feels taut. Okay, so everything should feel pretty tight now. At this point, I want to take my piece of leather and I'm going to go in the front side of this last wrap and create another X shape and bring that across the front to that initial tie point. Okay, we're going to go underneath this. Again, feel where this feels comfortable for you. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Feels pretty good there for me. I'm going to bring this back and I'm going to tie it off to this back strap. So all I'm going to do to tie this off is just put a nice knot in there, and then that's it. So you can see what that looks like then on your foot, how that's tied off. And again, that's not going to come off your foot if it's tied on correctly. It's that easy. You can see the lacing is not too complicated. If a piece of lacing would break, of course, you can just swap it out real quick with something else. And these shoes literally take less than 5 minutes to make. Now, of course, they're not a shoe, they're more of a sandal, but for something around camp to keep some air on your feet and stay cool in the hot summer, they work really, really well. And it's a fun project that if you're doing with kids or a Cub Scout troop or Boy Scout troop, just something different to get away from the normal fire, shelter, water type thing. This is a very good project. It's very simple. You can get just some leather, get some cordage, and make some sandals for out in the woods or just cruising town, whatever you would like. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's something different than we normally do, but it's something to just be aware of and something to have in your toolbox. Maybe one day you'll need it when you're out there. You never know. So if you haven't already, check us out at coldcrackerbushcraft.com. If you haven't, also subscribe. And until the next video, stay safe and stay in the woods, guys.